Okay, so you've asked me to talk about hypocrisy. Well, hypocrisy is literally to be not up to the level of critical thinking. In other words, you're doing stuff that you're not thinking about carefully, and your actions are not in tune with your values, or at least with your stated values. So you're a hypocrite if you say one thing and you do another, or if you preach about a particular way of life, particularly if you're a politician or a religious minister of some kind. You preach about the way people ought to live when actually living in a different ways, and living in ways that are particularly not very acceptable, or not very honorable, or not very ethical. So you're a hypocrite if you demand of other people that they act in a certain way, but you yourself apply different laws, different rules, and different regulations to your own life. It doesn't make you a very pleasant person on the whole, and it certainly doesn't make you very reliable. So hypocrisy is certainly not a good thing. I think hypocrisy is very widespread though, because it's so much more easy to talk about how we should do things than actually do them in real life. And I have long thought about how to prevent myself from being hypocritical, and have often discovered that I am on the edge of becoming a hypocrite. So, for instance, when I often talk about needing to be prepared for death, or needing to be open to what death means in a person's life, and even saying things like being aware of your own dying is very good. The moment something goes wrong with my own health, I of course take a very different view of that. It takes me quite a little bit of time to come to terms with a problem that changes my illusion of immortality, to actually, be aware that my eyesight will never be as good as it was when I was young, is quite a blow. And I actually don't apply to that the rule that I preach, which is becoming aware of our mortality is a good thing. Face up to death as much as you can. Not at first, anyway. So at first it might seem that I am hypocritical about it. But then eventually, thinking about it and reflecting on what I say about these things myself, I might discover that I can actually live up to the standard I have created by writing about things in that way. And so I find myself easier writing about things than living to the standard, but I also find that my own writing sets a standard for my life that is actually useful to me to become a better person. So, the hypocrisy for me is if I don't take my own words and my own writing and my own beliefs seriously, and think that there can be a difference between what I write and what I do, when in actual fact I feel very strongly that authors should not be believed for what they say, but should be watched for what they do. And if you can put it into practice, even if you can't do it straight away, but if in the long term you can put what you say into practice, then I think it's fair enough to expect other people to take you seriously. But if your whole lifestyle is actually completely out of sync and out of tune with the things you say in your books, then you are a hypocrite. And that is not what I would like to be myself. So, to be authentic is to face up to your own words as well as to your own limitations, and to learn from both, and to try and be as true as you can in both what you say and what you do.